Do you recall any kind of reasons why your brothers discouraged you from joining the
Well,
military?
they was very discouraged about the relationship of this country to African Americans. I have come out kind of like a political house that we always talked about that. But we never did anything protest together. It was individual protests based on the age structure and that type of thing. But oh yeah, we was solid as a rock. It helped me to understand my environment at the time. You know, I may have mentioned to you too that when I was about 10 years old, Jason. In fact, I mentioned it in the first paragraph of the book Bloods, which is chapter 7, where my story is. I used to sit on the stoop, which was right behind the North Capitol East Businessmen Association, which was right at the intersection of 15th East Capitol. And about 60 feet, there was a little two-step stoop. I would always come out, walk up to the street, sit there, and just reflect, because that was the end of the bus stop for one of the DC transit lines. And basically, I would get me a transfer and ride all around the city, because that was the end of the line. The transfer is still good. I ride. So that's where I received the revelation that I was going to war in prison. I think I was 10 years old at the time. And that was a very powerful revelation. You know, I just knew that those two things was going to happen. And so as we moved through, I decided not to. I kind of fought it for a minute because I didn't join with my partner. But nevertheless, the draft notice came and it said you shall report. You know, and I reported, and down to Fort Hollenberg in Baltimore, I think it was. And then from there to South Carolina, Fort Jackson, and from Fort Jackson, from all my infantry training, basic and AIT, to Vietnam, from South Carolina to Vietnam.
Now, whenever you got the draft notice, were you aware of the Vietnam War? Was that on your mind? Did you think that you would be sent?
Yes, I was aware of the Vietnam War, and I knew I was going to be sent. Because, Jason, I think I told you about, I hope I told you, because while I was sitting on that stoop, I had the vision of going to war in prison.
I did read that. I read that this morning as I was preparing for the interview. I have a copy here. And yeah, that was very interesting. So you had this kind of revelation that you would go to war and prison in your life.
In that order. And I didn't think I was doing anything to make it happen. You know, I was just living my life, you know.
So it wasn't a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's right. There you go. Good one.